we just arrived in MISAMIS, Philippines the other day, and we're checking out Kate's family's property. And it's on the water, it's a great location, but it just hasn't been lived in for 18 years. So there is some deterioration, but the property and the land is for sale, and I want to kind of give you guys a look at it to see what this property looks like in MISAMIS, Philippines. So here we go. So I'll show you the main house, which is right here on my right, and just to kind of around the area of the property. And the property extends way back there to the road, but this is just the beach area. Now I'll turn this around so you can see the beach or the water, and but it's overgrown by vegetation. But they're around, I think around 12 or 13 coconut trees, and it's a nice big house. I'll show you inside there in just a minute too, but it wouldn't take much. Actually, we're going to have some people come out and take out all the vegetation besides the fruit trees and the coconut trees, and just kind of fix everything up so we can put it on the market. But I'll show you around. Here it goes. And straight ahead you can kind of start seeing the water, but it's overgrown with vegetation and things like that. So here's the water.
It's the low tide right now.
It's low tide. Yeah, this is low tide. And there's some dogs playing. And we'll get these trees kind of trimmed back too. So here's a coconut tree, and I think there's around 12 or so. I'll have to count them.
All the way down there.
Yeah, I already talked about that. And so there's some fruit trees, big coconut trees that are producing, obviously. And it goes to this wall here, all the way back to the fence line, past the fence line to the road. So here's what it looks like. Actually, I'll go ahead and go to the wall and then show you what it looks like from the wall, the property from the wall. And all this is going to be cleaned up. All right. So here's what it looks like from the wall, a little bit past the wall. As you can see, this would be a fabulous, beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place. If it was taken care of and taken some of the, just cleaning the area up, it'd be a beautiful place. And the great news about this whole deal is, on both sides of this property are some beautiful properties that are well kept, well maintained. So it's just, this property has just been, once Kate's parents passed away, it just kind of went to, people living their lives, and so it's just like anything else. If you don't take care of it, it kind of goes to the side. But so anyway, so let me show you the inside of the house. This is the steps up. Really. So I'm assuming this was the living room, and then the washroom, maybe the sink, and the kitchen, the bathroom. It's kind of different whenever the Filipino houses, they're a little bit different than Western houses because the shower is usually right next to the commode and there's no separation. But those are all things that can be taken care of, especially for the price that they're willing to sell this property for. Excuse me. And so here's one of the rooms. They were a religious family. Some religious stuff still left in the house. And so yeah, some pretty good sized rooms. This was facing the water. These old looking doors, which are I find really cool. And I think this is actually a picture of Kate's mother. Yeah. So it's almost just kind of left the way it was without, I mean, obviously there was furniture in here and everything else, but here's another room, bedroom right beside it. And we were going to get some drone shots of the property, but the sucking news is that we're in a no-fly zone and it will not let me go up at all. And so, yeah, here's another room. Another room here. And this guardrail thingamajiggy. It's a different layout, but there's a lot of stuff that can be done with it, design-wise. Solid walls. I mean, solid. It's a solid, very solid house. I don't see any cracks in the house at all. This is, I don't know what, this must be a storage room of some sort. Must be a storage room of some sort, yeah. Must be a storage. So there, and this is the front door. And of course, you know, this tile, all this stuff can be taken out and replaced and really design it how you want it. This is the front door area. Now, the Filipinos, they do things a lot different than in the States. A lot of times their cooking facilities or things like that, they're outside, and that's just the way they do it. And so this is where they actually cook their food. And they're storing coconuts, the husk and things like that here. But this is where they cook their food. This is the outside oven, and this is where the water comes in. And there was a water pump, and there's no electricity to it right now because someone cut the wires. And this is the septic system here. And this is an antenna for a Wi-Fi connection. Antenna there goes all the way up. And so those are some of the coconut trees here. I think there's around 12 or so of the coconuts. Yeah. Some people broke some glass out. There's always that. Vandalism. And what they used to do, Kate was telling me that the grandmother, or her mother, would sell items. So I guess she had a little store right here, and she would sell items through the door, and that's how she would. And that's very common, very, very common here in the Philippines. You can go down on the street, any street in the middle of nowhere, and there's someone selling water, Coke, chips, things like that. And yeah. And so this is just very common, and she used to do that years ago. And so anyway, so there's properties on both sides that are really, really nice. And I hope I showed you everything. Oh, here's the garage, or the parking space. And I kind of want to I wish that I was able to get the drone shot, but I wasn't because of the no-fly zone. But it's really a nice place. It's really well gated, well gated and nice. And it's going to be pretty easy to actually clean the property up. There's a boat here. Let's check out the boat with the little railings on the side. These actually go on the side to help it stay afloat. And there's the boat there. Kind of cool. Kind of a neat deal. Neat little bit of information here. So here's the property from this angle, which is really nice. And there's also, Kate was telling me, her dad would have barbecues, things like this, and they have these little cabanas, or whatever you call them, little huts out by the road all the time. You see them all over the place. And this is where, that's a big solid piece of concrete that they had for placing their gazebo, cabana thing, whatever that is that they use. But they're very, very, very common here in the Philippines. And so, show you one more last look at the property here. Really nice property. The roof looks solid. There is some deterioration in the sideboards, but all that stuff can be fixed easily, especially with labor costs here in the Philippines being very, 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 very inexpensive. I mean, for instance, you can hire someone for all day for 200 pesos. 200 pesos, that's $4. That's just the going rate for labor. In some places it's a little bit different. It's like 400 pesos, which is like $8. And the more skilled you are, of course, that goes up. Say like if you're a manager of the skilled labor, then it would be maybe another 100 pesos per day. So $8, $9 a day for someone to come in and clean the property. We're actually going to probably get the property cleaned for around less than $100, just to get the property cleaned out. And this is the neighbor to the side. I'll show you what it looks like. Really, really, really nice. And then there's another one that's really nice as well. This is another area that you can actually Airbnb and rent out some spaces here. They have a lot of weddings, things like that, but it's really cool. So here we go. These are the little houses that you could rent, these rooms. Really nice. We checked this place out the other day, and that night I had coconut wine for the first time. So this is a really, really nice place. I'll show you here. Nice fishing, nice fish. And so the property is surrounded by some really, really high-end properties that if someone just came in and bought the property and fixed it up, it wouldn't take much to fix up, and then you'd have a beautiful place on the water in the Philippines. And it's just really crazy. So we're gonna put that on the market, try to get it sold relatively quickly. There's another property here too. It's owned by a different individual, and this place is super nice. It's a privately owned property. I don't think I can get the camera up there, but I'll try to show you what it looks like. So the camera's probably taking video of me because they had a private camera there. But so that's the property. That's what we're in the process of doing right now, is to take plenty of pictures. Hello. Take plenty of pictures to get the property sold, get on the market, or to get it on the market, then sell it. And yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing right now. And like I said, on each side of the property, it's great, well-kept, manicured properties. It's just this one's been in the family for a long time, and it's been unoccupied for around 18 years. And so, yeah, it just needs some tender love and care and some fix up, and it'll be good as new. These are all the coconut trees in the property. Goes all the way back to the road back there. So guys, if you know of anyone that wants a property for a very good price in the Philippines, or an investment property where you want to come in and fix it up and then resell it, this is a great property to do that. It's quite nice. So anyway, so guys, until next time, later. So I mentioned earlier about the property being positioned in between two really nice other properties, and those properties are actually resorts. So I'll show you the sign for the entranceway. So if you want to look those up, I'll actually probably put the link to their properties in the description, so you'll kind of get an idea of what this property is actually positioned in between. And also, well, not in between, they're actually on the right side of the property, but on the left side of the property, coming from the entryway, there's a private area. Is it private, or is it no, it actually is in between two resorts. Okay, my bad. So it's actually in between two resorts, and the Blue Wave, and I'll show you the entranceway of that and kind of show you what that looks like. And so here's the Blue Waves resort entry. This is the other resort over there, and this is the entryway to the property. So I'll kind of show you. We'll just kind of get a sneak peek in here of the property. Oh, they're having a party. So this is actually that's the entryway to the other resort, which is really nice, well manicured, well maintained. And anyway, the property is going for a really good price, and we'll put it in the description at the bottom. Also, we're going to list it. So if you know of anyone that wants a getaway that's absolutely beautiful for a great price, share this link, let everyone know, because they are ready to sell. All right, so this time, until next time, see you later.
Hey, if you like the videos, please show your love by clicking on the thumbs up button, and remember to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell to get the latest videos.